Well, time is money. Hello.
Yes, speaking of.
Yes. So, today's conversation was about money.
Money, honey. 2020, get that money.
Get the money.
Love your money.
Love your money.
It will love you back.
I have been in a very, well, I don't want to say very, but I've been in an unloving relationship with money for a very long time.
Aww.
And I know, it's sad.
That is sad.
And it's a relationship, much like a relationship with yourself. It's not something you can necessarily remove yourself from. You know, in this society at least. Or at least that's not how I want to live.
The puka shell.
There's, I'm sure there are plenty of people who live without money, but it's not where I want to be right now. That being said, a lot of what we talked about was identity, and this was an important thing because I struggle with debt. I've struggled with overspending. I mean, we both struggled with overspending
And debt.
And debt and indulgence and wanting to filling some void. And what did you just read in the other room about how spirituality has to precede
the money and precede. I think it has to precede every action. I was talking about my experiences around money being, and my most beneficial ones. I talked about how there have been struggles, of course, but the most beneficial ones have been spiritual practices around my self-worth. That money work is truly self-worth work, and understanding that I have a value in this world intrinsically. And it doesn't mean that I can just sit here and money will rain down on me because I believe that. It could. I do believe it could. And there are action steps that I can take consistently. We're both reading Atomic Habits by James Clear. And I've also known, prayer work is a habit of mine that has helped me immensely grow my belief in my worth and value. So that has had to precede any receiving of work or cash, and I've received them all. But I had to work on myself and continue to work on myself in the spiritual / emotional realms of value and this having a place where I can have it be true. Believing it, believing it's possible for myself versus what I grew up in, which was people who tried but struggled. And I don't know if they really believed it was possible. And so I modeled them, of course, and that's pretty typical. We
both did. I grew up, my dad was notorious for not trusting banks and checking accounts, and so he would pay all of his bills by money order. So he would get cash, get paid, go into the bank, I remember as a kid, and get the money order right there with the cash, and then pay that bill with that. So there was no trust in that the money would always be coming.
Right.
It was always when it got there, you had to use it quickly, and you didn't know when it was coming again. And
there was no saving.
No, there was no saving.
What a concept! Because we talked about that as becoming the people. Because the book talks about this, having the identity of the person who saves, the identity of the person who is confident with their money, and with their finances and with their investments, and versus the person who's sad or scared or not trusting or.
And I have to remind myself. You reminded me that although I feel like in the past I've always been a person who's not been good with money, I have had it in the past.
And you've saved.
I've saved it
up to 20,000. You said.
And I made,
which is huge,
and I've made other choices with that money. And I look back and go, gee, if I had that chance again, I wouldn't make those same choices. And the only way that I'm going to be able to have that opportunity again is to believe in the person that can have that opportunity again, that can have that money.
And even
more.
And much more.
Much more.
I really do believe, I think so, because you've learned. And
I don't think I could have learned without having lost
potentially,
that money for me.
Right. I mean, like, you could have heard someone else's story, but
Right.
to live it and to see how you, I'll speak from my experience, to see how I played it out when I had money of that level, you know, $30,000, $40,000. I'm like, for me, it was overwhelming. Like, I didn't know what to do with it. And I talked with my friend Ian a lot about this concept that Dr. Brenda Wade introduced to me, which was money bulimia. We didn't talk about this on the show, but it's, you know, that idea that it comes in and it's like, blah, get it away from me. I have to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So I'm buying all this stuff, and I'm taking you on, when we first started dating, you know, taking him out all kinds of places and getting weekends away and stuff. I mean, I could have been saving, but I couldn't have, because I don't feel like I had to learn that way, or I had to learn the hard way or anything like that. It's just I wasn't equipped with the awareness,
right,
and that desire, honestly. Because now to have the desire to save, and I have the reference point of, over the summer I saved the most money I had ever saved in my life thus far. So it was very exciting to do that and to see that it's completely possible. Then I actually ended up having to use it because of whatever reasons, and I felt bad about that. But now I'm in a position where I'm like, I can do it, and I can put away so much more, because how good that felt.
Yeah.
To know it's there and I don't have to use it.
Yeah.
Or it's available for me. And I believe that is actually how the universe is. It's completely generous in nature, and it's completely available and abundant in nature. If we look at the tree, there's not one leaf on the tree.
There's lots of leaves.
And sand and ocean and the depths. And
so looking at money as abundance, looking at it from that perspective rather than scarcity.
Exactly.
And I've always had it. And it comes and it goes, right? That's what they say. Well, it comes and it goes. And the only difference between it staying is me. So that's where the behavior and the habit needs to change.
Yeah.
So.
And it's changing.
Changing.
We're making new choices. And so we'd love to know what choices you're making around your money and finances. And if any, or...
Maybe you got it all dialed in, then please let me know.
Or maybe you don't, and you want to share about that too. And or maybe you don't believe in money. I mean, some people are like really against, you know, thinking it's evil, you know, or the love of money. And how do you feel about it? I'd love to hear. I'm open. I love that this is our opinion and our experience, and I'd love to hear yours.
Yes. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you.